All right, let's talk about something that might sound a little complex at first, but is actually a real deal superpower for anyone who's curious about the world. We're talking about R programming. Let's dive in.
So, have you ever felt like you're just drowning in data? Maybe it's for a science fair project, or you're trying to understand a chart you saw online. If just looking at a giant spreadsheet makes your head spin a little, trust me, you are not alone.
You know, that feeling is so common, it actually has a name. Researchers call it statistical anxiety, and it's something a ton of students feel when they're first asked to make sense of a bunch of numbers.
And let's be super clear, this has nothing to do with being bad at math. It's just a totally normal fear of trying to find the story hidden inside all that information. But here's the good news. There are awesome tools out there that can help us beat that feeling.
Now, you've probably used something like Excel, right? It's great for making lists and simple charts. But when you want to ask really deep questions and uncover surprising patterns, you need something with a little more muscle. And that's where R comes in. Think of it less like a spreadsheet and more like a specialized language made just for talking to data.
So yeah, let's properly meet your new superpower. R is this amazing tool that helps you cut through all the noise, spot the patterns no one else sees, and turn a confusing mess of numbers into a really clear discovery.
So, what is it exactly? Well, R is a programming language that's totally free and open source. It was built from the ground up to do two things incredibly well. One, handle all sorts of statistical calculations, and two, create beautiful, professional-looking graphics based on that data. So what makes it a superpower? Well, first off, it costs $0. It's completely free. It also lets you create these incredible charts and graphs that look like they belong in a magazine. And if you ever get stuck, there's a massive, friendly community online ready to help you out. But the real magic, the core of its power, is how it lets you find the stories hidden inside the numbers.
Okay, enough talk. The word programming can sound kind of scary, I get it. But I want to show you just how fast a single tiny line of code can turn into an awesome graphic. Let's actually see the magic happen.
Check this out. This is a real command in R. Bar plot count. All we've done is count up our data, we've put that number into a variable we called count, and now we're just telling R, hey, make me a bar plot from this.
And boom, just like that. That one little command gives us this perfectly clean, easy-to-read chart. We can see instantly that in this group there are 358 females and 367 males. We didn't have to drag anything or click through a bunch of menus. One command, one clear visual. That right there is the power of R.
And honestly, that's just the beginning. You can get way more creative. There's this amazing tool inside R called ggplot2, and the best way to think about it as like building with Legos. You start with your data as the base plate, then you add a layer of bricks to make the bars, then maybe another layer for the title, another layer to change up the colors. You literally build your perfect graph piece by piece.
Now, I want to be real with you. Is it super easy the first time you open it? Probably not. A high school student who used R for a project said this: "At first, learning R was not easy." And you know what? That's a completely honest and normal way to feel when you're learning any cool new skill. But wait, here's the rest of their story. They said, "But as I got learning from it, I found that interpreting data became a lot easier. Now I feel much more confident." And that's the whole journey, right? It might be a little tough at the start, but pushing through leads to this huge boost in confidence. Now let's see how this all works out in the real world. So is this just some tool for school projects, or do people actually use this stuff to do important work?
The answer might surprise you. It's used by pretty much every major company and field that relies on data. We're talking tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Twitter. They use R to make sense of huge amounts of information. And it's an absolutely essential tool for scientists studying everything from healthcare breakthroughs to climate change.
And this is what it actually looks like in action. What you're seeing here is a program called RStudio, and inside it, someone's analyzing a real-world data set about diabetes. This is exactly what medical researchers do to find patterns that could lead to new medicines and treatments. This is R, right now helping to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Okay, so we've seen what R is and what it can do. But honestly, the coolest part isn't what other people have done with it. It's what you can do with it. See, learning R isn't really about learning to code. It's about learning to be curious. It gives you this amazing ability to ask questions, big ones, small ones, serious ones, fun ones, and then go find the real answers for yourself using actual data.
Think about it. Every single set of data, whether it's the weather patterns in your city, the stats for your favorite sports team, or the results of a science experiment, it all has a story to tell.
And learning a tool like R gives you the power to become the storyteller. So really, the only question left is, what stories will you tell?